Now I'd like to introduce our co-salutatorian, Olivia Thurman Rivera.
Mrs. Tennyson, Mrs. Hayes, Dr. Dresden, Mrs. Collins, trustees, faculty, parents, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2016, good afternoon. Today marks the end of our high school careers and of our time at Sacred Heart. Some of us have been here for more than a decade, others for just a couple of years. But all of us have been touched forever by our experiences as students at this institution we will always call home. I first drove up this spectacular driveway as a sophomore coming for an admissions interview. As I sat with a representative from the school, her line of questioning clearly indicated what Sacred Heart was looking for. She wanted to know what was motivating my change at such a critical time in my high school career. She wanted to ensure that this switch was driven by me, by my desires and my aspirations, not by my parents or because I was running away from something else. It was my first experience of how Sacred Heart supports us young women in finding, to quote the goals and criteria, independence of judgment, personal freedom, and strength of character. A few months later, I arrived at Sacred Heart for my junior year, looking and feeling like a freshman. My skirt was dutifully knee-length. I didn't exactly know that there's a New Testament and an Old one. And above all, I felt unbelievably excited about the new and very different journey I was beginning. Sitting in the theater that first morning meeting, I spent every second taking in as much as possible. The morning prayer, the Pledge of Allegiance, the somewhat itchy theater seats, all represented my new beginning at Sacred Heart, so full of possibilities. Every day, I left school grateful for my new classmates who so openly accepted me, grateful for my dedicated teachers who delved deeply and engagingly into subject matter, and grateful for the newfound presence of spirituality in my daily life. Every morning, when I rolled out of bed 10 minutes before leaving home, I was also very grateful for my uniform, which gave me an extra 30 minutes of sleep. The honeymoon period lasted a while, but as we all settled into routine, I found myself at morning meeting not always focusing on the prayer we were reciting or taking time to reflect during Espacio, our 2 minutes of quiet contemplation. Instead, I was thinking about which class I had next period, what homework I still had to finish, and what Snapchats remained unopened. Familiarity led me to take things for granted and forget my sense of gratitude. Today, I wish for just one more morning meeting to live in the moment without to-do lists running through my head. In a few months, we will be scattered across the country at our respective colleges, beginning a very different phase of our lives. As we start to find ourselves in these new places, college, like morning meeting, will become familiar. We can't have another morning meeting, but we can use this moment, the end of one of the most formative periods of our lives and the beginning of the next, to learn what I think many adults have been trying to tell us for a while. Time flies, so we should be thankful and appreciate every moment. What could our lives be like if we decided to be grateful every day? Gratitude is the essence of happiness. It illuminates the abundance around us and within us. We see what we have, not what we're missing, and how much we've already grown. Gratitude encourages us to look at the world as a place full of opportunity. It impels us to action, to do the best we can with what we have for ourselves and for others. With gratitude, we can celebrate life as it unfolds, noticing its daily gifts and finding value in its trials. Gratitude can even liberate us from our own insecurities. As human beings, especially as young women, we have the treacherous tendency to compare ourselves with others. If we learn to embrace ourselves for our gifts and our shortcomings, the fear of imperfection or failure can never hold us back. As Lao Tzu claimed, when you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Failure is unavoidable, and our new communities will likely not be as uniquely supportive as Sacred Heart. We won't be able to enjoy the comforts of home as we weather the challenges that college will bring. This can definitely be an intimidating prospect. But Sacred Heart has prepared us to handle anything with strength of character, personal liberty, and deep faith. And to quote Winston Churchill, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Throughout our lives, we will have to call on our courage to persevere in difficult circumstances and try again when we fail. The support of our families, our friends, and our community at Sacred Heart will help us find this courage. But the reminder to remain grateful, this can only come from within. Whatever your definition of success, and everyone here will and should define it differently, the constant temptation is to want more. This desire for more can blind us to what we already have and should be grateful for. Look around and see how incredibly fortunate we are. We've received an education and joined a community that few in the world can claim. It's not the most beautiful day, but we're still outside under the tent. We're here with our teachers, friends, and family, and we're wearing wedding gowns, every girl's dream. Let's remember to see the world through the eyes of Meister Eckhart, an 11th century German theologian who remarked, "If the only prayer you said was thank you, that would be enough." So please join me in thanking our teachers, the administration, Miss Pan, Miss Benson, our friends, family, and loved ones, and above all, my 74 sisters, the class of 2016. Let's go forth from today with courageous hearts and with the intent of saying a prayer of thank you every day. Congrats, we did it! Thank you.